Today, we have the top 10 theme teams right now in Madden 26. I did make a theme team video earlier this week. Those were like my favorite or like fun theme teams. I thought it'd be cool to build for most feared. So if there were a couple teams I saw in the comments, people were like, this team should be in the top 10. This team's better. This team should have been mentioned. They will be in this video most likely. This is my official top 10 theme teams in the game. Let's get right into it. If you're looking to build a new theme team or just stack up for most feared, head over to MMOEXP for the cheapest, most reliable MUT coins on the market. Use my code FERDY to check out for 6% off. A link for their website is in the description. The first thing I want to do is take a look at the 32 team chem squad. This is, these are all the cards that get 32. So unlike other years, to have a theme team be pretty high up, they have to be pretty complete, pretty spread out. I feel like the gap between theme teams this year is even closer because of these 32 team chem cards, obviously, which is good because it keeps all theme teams somewhat relevant, but not really because you're not really using the players from that team, if that makes sense. It's a weird thing, and also it hurts the variety too, but I'm not going to get into that in today's video. But you can see you can pretty much fill out any position on defense with a 32 team chem card, so really any hole can be filled. And at the end of the day, it's your team, run it however you want, run whatever players you want, right? But there are some teams I do want to mention. The first one that I think could be fun, kind of going back to the video I made earlier this week. Vikings looks good. You got a gunslinger QB and three legit Vikings wide receivers on this team: Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Randy Moss. That's like the big three of Vikings receivers that you want. Maybe a Chris Carter in there would be nice. But even the corners are pretty good. But again, this is a team that, how well does this team really complement with the all 32 team? Not that great, but you have some fun cards in there. The next team is, of course, Jaguars. Pretty popular theme team. The main reason for this is really just Travis Hunter. You have a good tight end, decent O-line. You have Tim Patrick, who's pretty good on a theme team with the quick spin. Brian Thomas Jr., of course. Then even on defense, you, of course, have Travis Hunter that can go both ways. Antonio Johnson's good. Fully settled Louis Kuhn's good. And even Jalen Ramsey, of course, good. And even Jerry Jones can still somewhat hold his own out there with 87 speed, right? He's a solid card. Browns team's up next. They got, offensively, they're pretty good. Of course, Odell Beckham on a theme team could be fun. But then you have Myles Garrett, Michael Dean Perry, you have JOK, and a Nick Chubb coming out as well with one decent corner. But this is a team like, you fill in some all 32 guys, and with a pretty decent O-line, this team starts looking pretty good. You know what I mean? So you have that. We then have Lions, who I like too. Of course, Gibbs. Everyone gets Gibbs, so we don't really count him. But Calvin Johnson, Amon-Ra Big, Laporta. That kind of big three right there I do like. Super fun big three. But they are pretty weak. So these are teams that I just kind of like some of the stronger points of them, but they're not too complete, right? That's kind of the way I look at it. We then have Falcons theme team as well. You have Drake London, a 6'4". Bijan's a fun card if you can boost him. He's nice. O-line's pretty solid. You, of course, do have Vic if you want to run Vic still, who's still usable. Just doesn't get gunslinger. But fully settled Louis Kuhn, Caden Ellis, AJ Terrell. So you have some strong points, and they're not as strong as the teams in the top 10, but they're somewhat strong. Strong enough to be mentioned, in my opinion. So these are now my official honorable mentions. Okay, the first one is Titans. Titans is going to have a really good receiving core with Randy Moss, AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, and of course Derrick Henry. So the fact you have Randy Moss, Derrick Henry on the same theme team is really nice. But at the end of the day, you can build any of Randy Moss's theme teams and have Randy Moss with Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's obviously better than, it's better than Randy Moss, Derrick Henry, right? Because Jahmyr Gibbs is still the best running back in the game, and by a pretty good margin. But I do like their decent pass rush in here: Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons, and Malcolm Butler as well. So they're like kind of fringe. Even Kenneth Murray's a good option, but really, again, it's that strong point of Randy Moss and Derrick Henry. But if you have Jahmyr Gibbs, this team's probably not the one for you because, you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's better. Buccaneers is up next. You, of course, have Gronk, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans. Those are the three guys right there on offense. Great cards. If you watch some of if you saw the MCS stuff yesterday, or I guess while you're watching this, it was 2 days ago, but you saw a lot of Deshaun Jackson, mainly because of the you-know-who team. But Mike Evans is great too if you want to run a team with him. He's an option. And you also have Sherman, Michael Bennett's good. You have Vita Vea, you have Devin White, and of course you can run the 32 team Chem, Carlton Davis, or Keith Talib. So you have those options. All right, getting into am I in the top 10 yet? No, one more honorable mention I have. All right, Broncos, kind of the same thing. You're gonna kind of build it for one card-ish in a way, right? Brian Dawkins is insane. You make the best cards in the game even better. That's kind of the name of the game this year, honestly. But you also pair that with a good pass rush, Michael Dean Perry. You even have a Jahdae Barron who's solid too, PS2. If he's all 32. Even DRC, of course. So defensively, you're pretty good, and then offensively, you have a gunslinger QB. The receivers are not great, but again, if we visit back to the all 32 team, it's a pretty good team, right? You fill out those receivers real easily with the 32 team chem guys. You even have Mark Schlereth out there to fill that void, or Luke Wattenberg, of course. So you have some options, and you have Evan Ingram, who's still a solid tight end in this game. All right, coming in at number 10 today is the Commanders theme team. And just keep in mind, these teams are very close to each other because of the 32 team chem cards. They're very close. The main draw for the Commanders theme team is Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, of course, gunslinger, 86 speed. The speed combination, of course, Cam Newton kind of have that speed and that gunslinger combo. But the juke move's good, the carrying's good. And this is like there are some quarterbacks that aren't really worth boosting on a theme team, because you're not getting, if you're boosting a guy from, 80, 79 speed to like 83, they're still not super elite runners, but boosting a guy like Jaden Daniels up to 89, 88 speed, that could be a difference, right? Because you're actually going to use his legs quite often, and he has the carry and the juke move, all that stuff as well. But Jaden Daniels is the main draw here for Commanders. And of course, you have Noah Brown, you have Deshaun Jackson, that's very good right there. And then the rest of the offense isn't that great, but you do have Schlereth and Trent Williams to fill out that left side of the line, which again, those are two holes for the all-32 team. So you're actually going to be using players. I went to the wrong team on accident, but you're actually going to be using players from their team. And of course, you have the choice if you want to run Noah Brown or Deshaun Jackson or not. And then on defense, the big draw here is Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin, great on the, great user, 88 speed, demon card, obviously. And then also Sean Taylor is someone you can still run on a full theme team. 89 speed. Maybe he's phased out of, for like a cheat, but on a theme team, this guy can still play, and you still have Von Miller. Montez Sweat, can he still play? Probably not, but if you need to, you definitely could. But of course, you have Micah or like Nick Bosa, someone like that. So I do like Commanders. Again, you have a big main draw on defense. You have some good offense. You have good pass rush, and of course, a very good option at quarterback. So next up, we have Seattle, and I try not to look too far into the future with these teams, but it was leaked that there was a Cam Chancellor and a Bobby Wagner coming out. So you have Earl Thomas, Sherman, Bobby Wagner, and Cam Chancellor all on the same team. A little bit weak at corner outside of Sherman, but of course you have the all 32 guys, right? Left side of the line, pretty strong, as well as Kevin Mawe. So pretty strong offensive line. If you take a look over here, you'll see, besides right guard, it's probably the one spot you're going to have to cheat in, to be honest. So yeah, but Seattle theme team, you have a 6'4" DK Metcalf. You can run Marshawn Lynch, and Marshawn does get up over the juke move threshold as well. If you want to run Sam Darnold, you can. He's solid, doesn't get gunslinger, but he's an option. You could, of course, run Case Keenum as a cheat here. But Seattle, always going to be strong, especially when they have the rights of the Legion of Boom, and they're all coming out around the same time. This team is, you should see a lot of them. I think you will. The Legion of Boom is definitely a good draw, so yeah. And next up, we got the New York Jets theme team. The main draw here is, of course, you have a gunslinger QB who doesn't benefit crazy from the speed like I just mentioned, but does have that gunslinger. You have the gunslinger QB. You have Plexico Burris. Again, not to go too far into the leaks, but you have a Garrett Wilson coming out as well. So you have Plexico, Garrett Wilson, and Devontae, or CD. Whoever you want to run here, you can run, but the option will probably end up being Devontae at the end of the day. Tight end, you are weak. You're going to want to use a cheat there. And then on defense, it's Cromartie and it's Sauce Gardner. Those are the two main draws. And you have some decent interior options, but really outside of that, they are kind of weak. I mean, Ashton Davis is someone you can, of course, run, but I do like that, Sauce Gardner, one of the best corners in the game, and only can be boosted on a Jets theme team. You also have Garrett Wilson coming out, and I didn't even mention running back. You also do have LaDainian Tomlinson would be my choice here to run. So a complete receiving core, a good QB, a very usable running back, a decent O-line, and of course, those corners are crazy as well. So say you're someone that pulled, Brian Dawkins. Maybe I shouldn't have even mentioned the Broncos theme team because the Eagles theme team does exist. Again, good offensive line to fill those gaps for the all 32. You have two good receivers, I'd say. I mean, A.J. Brown isn't anything wild, but on a theme team, 90 speed potentially is very good. This Saquon, if you have crystals, you're probably not going to use him. So, like they put you in a weird spot. I wish they would add like a training spot where you can just plug in the crystal Saquon, put it into this one so you could actually pick up and use this card because, I don't know if it's worth it, suddenly upgrading your Saquon while downgrading the rest of your Eagles, I don't think it's worth that. But then we head over to defense, of course, Brian Dawkins, okay? McCollum, no one has him, but you should have got him. Isaiah Rodgers and DRC. So you have the corners, you have good interior, good user, I'd say. Yeah, Zach Bond's a good user. And then, of course, the main draw is, of course, going to be Deshaun Jackson, and you have Brian Dawkins as well with a good cornerback room. So, pretty similar, I'd say, to Broncos, but I think Eagles will get more love. Eagles will get more love than Broncos, just traditionally. If we look back in past years, that's just how it goes. Next up, we got the Steelers theme team. O-line is really good, okay? Of course, it's the Aaron Rodgers. This is a better version of Jets, in my opinion. The only debate really is the corners being worse, right? That's the only debate. And even Patrick Peterson, you could still run him on a 50 with crystals. Like, you still could do it. Peyton Wilson's a solid user, but the main draw for them is going to be that free Shazier, and then fully upgraded, you have potentially a 92 speed user or 91 speed user, and it's Shazier. So he's going to be crazy. And then you also have the offense with 2 6'4" guys. The running backs as a whole, but I would say this is like a really good team to build if you have like Jahmyr Gibbs in the full crystal boost, because you'd have a running back. Even the George Pickens card, like, I mean, you have all 32, so you don't even have to run him, but you could if you really wanted to go like no cheat, super strict. I guess you could, but you know, this team, like with the crystals and all that stuff, ends up looking very complete with some very strong points. I didn't even mention like Deshaun Elliott, Mike Jones you can use, Minkah Fitzpatrick you can use. So you have options. They're a little bit, I mean, their pass rush isn't even bad either. You have TJ Watt, who's kind of a more mid card in my opinion, but you could of course use him. You should use him on a Steelers team. It's a Steelers team. How are you not going to use TJ Watt? The next team up is the Patriots theme team. Gronk, Stephon Diggs, Cam Newton's the main draw here. Cam Newton, 6'5", the gunslinger. It's Cam Newton, and any team you can have Randy Moss and he's QB1 right now. You have Cam Newton, QB1, and then you have debatably QB or wide receiver 1 in Randy Moss with Diggs, with Kayshon Boutte, and of course Gronk as well. This team has holes, right? That's like the one problem with it, and I think the next four teams I think we have left kind of do take a slight jump from the teams that we've already mentioned, but they're kind of in groups in the top 10. But they got Malcolm Butler, of course, the all 32. Some of them did play for the Patriots actually, but they're not there, right? Even Mac Wilson, he's a decent enough user, right? In pass rush with Michael Bennett, it's okay. And Kyle Duggar is your user, obviously. But this team, I would say, does have holes, but it's this wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver core that makes this team so strong. So next up, we have Ravens. I wouldn't say this is the biggest jump between Patriots and Ravens, but the main draw is, of course, Lamar Jackson. Lamar is getting an upgrade next week, so we have to mention it. And even if you want to use like Cam Ward or you have like Case Keenum to kind of run this spot for now, that's fine. But Lamar is someone that when he comes out, he'll be the fastest QB in the game. They'll try to make him very good. I'm not too sure if he's an LTD or not, but the fact that you could have Lamar, Derrick Henry with this receiving core, this is like the best possible rate. This is the best the Ravens receiving core could be. I guess like Steve Smith would be a cool name, but he wouldn't be that great. He's small, but even Darren Waller, you saw him used a lot on some of the best teams in the game. You have Ogden, John Simpson, and good offensive line. I'm not going to name all the names, but Earl Thomas is solid. But at corner, they lack. At corner, this is where you're going to want to invest in all of the 32 team chem corners for sure. Pass rush is okay. Linebackers, you have Trenton Simpson, who's pretty solid on a theme team, and then Roquan Smith as well, who everyone does get, but. Is this one or this one? I think this is the better one, I think. No, they're about the same. Wait, this is the better one. This is the one that came out after, yeah. But even Kyle Hamilton, he's all 32 as well. But it's a good team, and I would say this is a good team to build if you don't have the Jahmyr Gibbs crystal, because you are getting a very good running back that you could actually use. I maybe build a team that's kind of weak at running back if you have Jahmyr Gibbs, because that's a hole that you can easily fill. Next up, Rams. I would say it's a pretty big jump, a decent sized jump between the Rams and this team because of the pass rush, which is something that people don't really talk about when it comes to building a theme team. But when you're paired with this receiving core of Puka Nacua, Odell, Deshaun Jackson, Devontae Adams, running back again, this would be a very good Gibbs team with a good left side of the line. And just a good offensive line in general. You can actually use Case Keenum on the team, but the corners are good. Mainly just Ramsey, really. You have Quentin Lake, you have Taylor Rapp. So you have names. Mike Jones you can use on this team as well, but really it's the pass rush that is so strong on this Rams team. And of course the receivers and the gunslinger QB. So Rams, very popular, a team that I saw some comments about for good reason. They are the best of the best in this game right now. Really no holes. And again, with 32s, it's easy to fill those holes. So the next two teams, I didn't mention them in the video on Tuesday or whenever I posted that video, maybe Wednesday, because I feel like I see a lot of them. Right, and they're a very popular team, so people either have them or are sick of seeing them. So that's why I didn't mention these last two. But they are very good, unfortunately, and they're good every year since I've been playing this game. Niners, Raiders, I spoiled it, but you knew they were coming up at number one anyway. But Niners, of course, they get the Randy Moss upgrade. Whenever like Randy comes out for those two teams every year, and they're insane. And they have, of course, a lot of legends who they really haven't capitalized too crazy on yet, in my opinion. But good left side of the line, which again, going back to the all 32, that's a hole you want to fill. It's not that big of a deal, but it is for chems. And of course, you also have Taylor Mays as well. This Sigel card is also like not like you could use him. He's 5'11". You could of course use him. I'm not going to count Fred Warner, but he's there. Nick Bosa again, he's there. But the Niners theme team is very good, and I think will only get better. Like I kind of loosely tied in potential to this. Even Ayuk you could use. TOs you could still use on a 50-50 with crystals too. So just a very good team. That's what the Niners are. Year in, year out. It's a pretty safe bet to just go build a Niners team every year. And finally, at number 1, of course, it's the Raiders. If you went to the comment section of the last theme team video I made last week, you would see that people were screaming out for the Raiders. Again, the reason why they were not mentioned was because I felt like everyone has a Raiders team already, and people are sick of seeing them. And of course, they're very good. If you want to be super competitive, this is the team you'd build. But they are number 1. There's really no way around it. Of course, you have Randy Moss. You saw a lot of Deshaun Jackson. People were using Darren Waller yesterday in the MCS stuff, which we were kind of forced to watch for no reward, or 2 days ago while you're watching this. O-line it's good enough. You can run these guys. McCollum, no one has you. And of course, it's Jeremy Chin. It's, Devin White got an upgrade. You have DRC. Max Crosby just came out for them as well. And the Raiders will only get stronger. This is a team that clearly EA will give cards to and also give good budget cards to as well. They're not even on here, but, Devon Diablo is someone that's really good, who's kind of cheap. Sappy is someone you can still use. So, Raiders team is the number 1. And I would say, like, the two best with a gap is really Raiders and Niners again this year. It's just kind of the same stuff. And even, like, Seahawks is pretty high. Jets doesn't end up staying pretty high, too. There's some frequent visitors. Steelers, though, is good this year, which there was a couple years where they weren't that great for some reason, even though they have crazy legends, but they were not that great. But, Raiders is number 1. So, that will do it for today's video. Drop a comment down below who was snubbed from today's video. Maybe some teams I got to take a look at for the next one. And, as always, I will see you boys in the next one. Hit the subscribe button. On that road 50,000 subscribers, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you boys in the next one. Goodbye. Have a good day. Goodbye.